all of this raises the question of what in the hell is going on? What is the strategy? What is the purpose of all of this?
That was a United States senator. In an official congressional hearing, asking the president's own representative to justify this administration's foreign policy. And guess what? Nobody had a satisfying answer. Stay with me because this video is going to make you angry. And it should. Let's start with the document. The actual written, published, official document. Page 1, not page 50, not buried in a footnote. Page 1 of this president's own national defense strategy.
So the very first page of the president's national defense strategy states that the department will no longer, quote, be distracted by interventionism, wars, regime change, and nation building. In the last 3 months, however, the president, I would add the word administration here, but I'm going to follow on you. The president has started wars of choice in South America, the Middle East, and he's failed to lay out any strategic plan for an endgame or a consistent justification for these efforts.
Did you catch that? His own strategy document, written by his own people, signed off by his own administration. No more interventionism. No more endless wars. No more regime change. No more nation building. That was the promise. Now let me show you the reality. In the last 3 months, not 3 years, not a full term, 3 months. Here is what this president has actually done.
By the president's own account, he has decided to use missile strikes to murder people in the Caribbean and the Eastern Pacific, raid and seize the dictator of a foreign country, and he, the president, has started a war with Iran and placed our troops in harm's way in the Middle East. The president has also refused to directly supply necessary weapons to Ukraine. And the president has said he wants Greenland.
Missile strikes in the Caribbean. A military raid to physically remove a foreign leader. A war with Iran. Troops deployed with no exit strategy. Weapons withheld from Ukraine. And now he wants Greenland. I'm not editorializing here. I'm not spinning this. That list came directly from the senator, reading from documented, verified reports. So tell me, which part of that list says, no more interventionism? Which part says, no more endless wars? Because I'm looking at that list, and I see nothing but interventionism. I see nothing but endless wars. The president didn't just break his promise. He torched it. But here's where it gets truly unbelievable. Because it's not just that the policy changed, it's that the justifications directly contradict each other. Listen to this very carefully.
Now, am I correct that the president is going to do whatever he wants to do? Wakes up in the morning and says, well, we obliterated the nuclear program in Iran. A couple of months go by, he wakes up in the morning and said, we're going to go to war with Iran because of their nuclear capability. I don't get it. And if you've not yet figured out from the comments of my colleagues up here, we don't get it. But indeed, we seem to have a president that every morning wakes up with a different strategy.
Let me repeat that back to you slowly. Statement 1, we obliterated Iran's nuclear program. Statement 2 months later, we need to go to war with Iran because of their nuclear capability. These are not two different opinions. These are not two different interpretations. These are two statements that cannot both be true. Either the program was destroyed and there is no nuclear threat, or the program was not destroyed. And the first statement was a lie. Pick one, because you cannot have both. And yet that is exactly what this president is doing. Waking up every morning with a brand new strategy that contradicts yesterday's strategy. This isn't foreign policy. This is chaos. dressed up in a suit and calling itself leadership. Now, I know some of you are thinking, every president bends the rules a little. Every president pushes boundaries. Fine, let's accept that. But here's what's different this time. Here's what makes this moment unlike anything we've seen before. The president said it himself.
The president also said that on day one he would be a dictator. He didn't say when he would end his dictatorship. But for those of us that have observed the president and his policies and his rather wild strategies, we're going, it appears as though this dictatorship's not going to end. And you're here basically carrying the president's water and trying to answer the questions that this committee has raised.
He said it on camera to the American people. I will be a dictator on day one. Not a reporter said it. Not an opponent claimed it. Not a leaked memo suggested it. He said it. And the senator's point is chilling. He told us when the dictatorship would start. He never told us when it would end. Look at the pattern. Unilateral military strikes, no congressional approval. Troops deployed, no congressional briefing. Wars started, no congressional authorization. At what point do we stop calling this an aggressive foreign policy and start calling it what it actually is? Which brings us to the most important question in this entire hearing. Not a political question, not a partisan question, a constitutional question.
So what's going on here? Do you, a representative of the president, understand the Constitution? The Constitution gives the Congress of the United States the sole power to wage war. We can debate what the authorization to use force is all about. So please explain to me in the next 30 seconds, what in the hell is this president doing?
Article 1, Section 8. The Constitution of the United States, Congress, not the president, has the power to declare war. This isn't debatable. This isn't a matter of interpretation. This is the founding document of this country. And right now, Congress is finding out about military operations from the news, not from classified briefings, not from official channels, from the news. The senator isn't asking a political question here. He's asking whether the president believes the Constitution applies to him. And based on the evidence, that is a genuinely terrifying question to have to ask. So after all of that, after the broken promises, the contradictions, the constitutional violations, the chaos, what was the answer? What did the president's representative say when asked directly, point blank, to justify all of this? Listen.
I'm honored to be here as a representative of the president and to explain that I do think he's advancing American interests and putting them first. In the case of the Caribbean, he's going after narco-terrorists that have been directly contributing to the deaths of hundreds of thousands of Americans. And the Middle East, he's taking action against the noxious Islamic Republic of Iran, which I know on both sides of the aisle there's a shared sense of the threat.
In the president's national defense strategy, he said he would not be distracted by interventionism, endless wars, regime change, and nation building, but that is precisely what's going on.
That's it. Advancing American interests. No strategic endgame. No constitutional justification. No explanation for the contradictions. No acknowledgement that the president's own strategy document says the opposite of everything he's doing. And then, almost accidentally, the representative said something remarkable. He quoted the National Defense Strategy himself, the one that says no interventionism, no endless wars, no regime change. And then he said, but that's precisely what's going on. The president's own representative just confirmed the senator's entire argument in one sentence at the end of his defense. You cannot make this up.